Morning, gang. Rod Cumberland, East Coast Lumberjack here. I'm going to do something a little bit neat today. I want to show you a couple things. The first thing is most handle guys' favorite weapon. Right here. Double boiled linseed oil. Now, probably one of the biggest things that causes a handle to go bad in a hurry is not treating it. And of course, because most of the time we're swinging an axe, it isn't indoors, it's outdoors. So of course, as soon as you're done with the axe, leans against a building somewhere, it doesn't get go back inside where it should a lot of times. Or it stays in a shed where your moisture content increases and decreases all the time, causing a lot of swelling and shrinking of the handle. Because of course wood, when it's out in the weather like that, will take on whatever the ambient moisture is of the air around it. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to treat a couple of handles. So I got a really neat one here. This is from my buddy Joe Galelli, and Joe's from down in Florida, and he lost a close friend here a while ago. So he ordered a yellow birch handle to replace it. And then he changed his mind to hickory. But I'm going to send him along the yellow birch handle, just because, you know, yellow birch, it's a beautiful handle. I'm going to show you here when I put the linseed oil on it, how the grain comes out in this gorgeous handle. And then maybe it'll help him, you know, ease the pain a little bit about losing a good friend. So, from me to you, buddy. And then I've also got a couple of oak here for my buddy Jim Dickey out in Kingsley Road. I'm going to do them up for him. So I'm going to put some linseed oil on them, but I'm going to, so you're not going to see me a whole lot more, which is probably a good thing. But I want to set you up so you can watch the grain pop out of these handles. So we have an oak and a yellow birch. So let's watch what happens to them here. So this here's our yellow birch. And I just get a rag, an old rag, t-shirt. I've only got a couple hundred t-shirts from all my lumberjack competitions. But this yellow birch, it had just started spalding a little bit, you know, which is really the first stages of rot in a birch tree. But look at this. One thing that this does is causes the grain and all the beautiful little changes in that wood to really come out. Look at that. Tell me that's not a beautiful wood to put in a handle for a guy. So Joe, I think it was a very good choice to go with yellow birch. So I'm going to send it along. But look at the grain come out in this. Typical East Coast Lumberjack with the grain running just as true as a die. Boys, but look at that. Huh? You talk about pretty. So it was quite nice to work. Yellow birch isn't as aggressive as hickory wood, so it's a little bit, works a little bit easier with your spoke shave and draw knife and stuff. Look at that, huh? Isn't that pretty? So there, that's a pretty awesome looking handle. Yellow birch, all linseed oiled up. So we'll let that sit a little bit. Now let's try this oak, because I'm pretty sure the oak will pop as well. Dark woods like this, and I've also got a couple of, I can't do these because the customer doesn't want them, but that's another heartwood hickory handle. I've got one that's of course for Joe. Look at this here. Oak is another one that really pops. The grain in it really comes through beautifully. And the only thing, when you make a nice straight handle like I do, with your grain going, I'll show you here, I'll just put some linseed oil on it so you can see the grain, but see the grain's nice up and down, runs nice and straight and true with the handle. The only problem with that is you're only going to get a little bit of grain popping right here, okay, at the top where it comes in a little bit, because it's so flipping straight, the grain doesn't come out through very well. And of course you don't want that, because when the grain's coming through it's actually called run out, and that's what we don't want. Look at this. Really pretty. So I know these dark woods love linseed oil, and linseed oil loves them, because look, see this? See the grain come out in that? It really brings the grain out. Now some guys also will use a torch and torch those grains to make them pop a lot more. That's about as traditional as you get right there. So there's the oak. There's the yellow birch. Pretty, eh? So linseed oil does two things. Linseed oil, number one, protects your handle. It seals out the moisture and seals in whatever's left there. And of course I used the old moisture meter on these. It's laying right here. Just see, I think the yellow birch was right around 11 yesterday, and it is 6% right now, and the oak is 8%. So whatever that is, we've just locked it in, which is kind of nice. And of course it protects it from the weather and pops that grain just beautifully. So those two puppies there, one's destined for Florida and one's destined for the outskirts of Fredericton. So two other little beauties from the East Coast Lumberjack. Got a few other projects on the go. Today we get to hit a few, one of these handles are going to Arkansas. Let's see. No, Alaska, sorry. Sorry Ryan, they're going to Alaska. So got a couple of Adirondacks that are coming right up on the workbench, and they're headed to Alaska. So we'll grab a hold of them and start them very quickly. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, be sure you subscribe. Lots of good stuff coming up today. I know I've been saying it for how many videos, but today we are going to test axes. So I just got to charge my phone and make sure we get it on here. The UMB boys are coming out, and we're going to go through a couple of boxes of axes and show you how you can tell the difference between a good chopping axe and one that maybe not chopping so well. So subscribe and you'll get that as soon as it comes out. East Coast Lumberjack signing off.